Yo, what's up? It's your boy Currency 365. Hope you guys are doing well. Legends never die, they stay in our hearts. If you want to support us, click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also you can come down here and hit the join button under the video or in our channel section. And you can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/currency365. And we also have Cash App and also PayPal for support if you want to sow some seeds. Peace out. God bless. Enjoy the video and keep the movement going. Legends. Bye.
I know it's like I've worked in the factories before, but I know someone who works in a similar type of field and even told me, I won't say their name to protect their identity, but they told me they even got their son a job and his son was trained. And it's not even, they may be contracted with the big three. I'm not sure exactly, but they do some type of work like that. They've driven high lows before. But the reason I'm bringing this story is this deep state, this apparatus is involved in many angles, aspects of our lives that you may not be aware of, by the way. And there's other ways, other things that I'm preparing to try to get prepared for what's coming down the pipeline. I don't go into the details of all that information sometimes because remember, I also warned you guys in the past that I can't see who's actually viewing these videos. Because this is public. But at the same time, I can try to warn, I can try to reach the people who do have ears. There's a saying, he who has ears, let him hear. He who has eyes, let him see. I can try to reach and warn those people. But just keep in mind, there's people that may not and don't have our best interest at heart. And they also watch some of these videos. Some of them are underlinks and minions that, from what I'm gathering, work up under the higher ups, and they're trying to sabotage or thwart or disrupt and put roadblocks in the way. And I've experienced this before firsthand. I've personally gone through this. I plan on doing videos down the road where I'm going to expose Antifa, Revcom, Communist Revolution of America. I told a friend of mine, it's funny, I actually saw them in the area that I was at recruiting, and I knew what was going on because I heard George Soros at the time, who they received a lot of their funding from, had cut his funding. There was a lot of people who got laid off from Open Society Foundation, by the way. So they were looking for money because they need money just like other groups and things to push their modus operandi, to push their agenda, whatever it may be, which some of you all know what is Marxism, to disrupt what's going on. So don't get it twisted. I'm very well studied, but I'm not a registered voter. I'm going to say once again, politically, I'm not Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not an independent. I'm not a libertarian. I'm not none of that stuff technically, because I have not voted since 2004. And that was just in the primaries. That was for a mayoral election. And it wasn't even the main election. It was just the primaries prior to their main, the main election when they run for locally or whatever. But I'm just giving, my opinion, things that I research, by the way. But I encourage you all to research the information that I do share. If you're inquisitive or you think I'm making this stuff up, I tell you, don't take my word for what I say. Research it. But that's the reason why sometimes I have to hold back. I can't go into all the details of my personal life, because some of us that are public, that have shown our faces, that are on these public platforms, just keep in mind, I've been told this privately by my numerous sources, but one of my sources in particular, that many of us, we're being watched, and some I hear they're being scrutinized behind the scenes even worse than me. Recently, Alex Jones mentioned his team of lawyers were approached again by the criminal deep state, and they gave him an offer. They said, we can make all this go away if you just sell out or don't talk about this anymore. They said, we'll still give you your platform. We'll still allow you to have it, but we just don't want you to talk about this anymore. That's huge. And he mentioned he's not selling out. And I remember when my cousin told me years ago when they tried to get Alex Jones to sell out. And I'm going to say Alex Jones is a real one. You may not like his personality, some people, or maybe the way he reports on the information, but he's definitely a real one. And like for Kanye to even go on his show and say, I agree with what Kanye said at the time, just that statement that he said, Alex Jones has been on the front lines, has been fighting for us, those of us who are awake for a very long time. And he's faced a lot of scrutiny. He's been labeled a conspiracy theorist. He's been labeled a racist, all this other stuff. I don't buy it. I don't believe none of that bull crap. And I've been a listener for a number of years, and I've seen the amount of guests that he sat on his show, a diverse group of people from all different walks of life, different backgrounds, from minorities to doctors, nurses, whistleblowers, etc. You name it. No one has been on the front lines. He is a true man, a true maverick. I commend. A true, genuine man, a strong man at that. And I'm going to continue to support the info war and the information and get it out, because this what happened recently with this verdict, just understand this deep state, they've been planning this. This was already kind of pre-planned. Look at all these different lawsuits, folks. You think that's by coincidence? They're trying to keep this man from becoming president. There's people that are awake now that know why they don't want him back in. But this is a fight against nationalism versus globalism. The ruling class elite want to implement a one world government here in America. They want to capture every country. They don't have America captured the way they've captured many other countries. They already have it to a great degree. They've infiltrated massively, but they want to break America down. That's why they're changing a lot of things. They want to, that's the reason why they're pushing with the alphabet community. They're pushing that agenda. They want to get rid of the family structure. That's why I said if I was a registered voter, I would lean more to the right, because I support the nuclear family structure. I think that's important. I think that's one of the things what I disagree with Black Lives Matter. I support activists. Don't get it twisted. I support activism, by the way. And, some of my personal beliefs and things. But that doesn't mean when you support something that you either co-sign everything from either side, whether it's left or right either. That doesn't mean like when Ben Carson was being interviewed by The View, when they had him on the show and they kept scrutinizing him and saying he gave a very good answer in a very eloquent manner. And I have a lot of respect for Dr. Ben Carson, who was a neurosurgeon who actually received an award many years ago for separating two Siamese twins. Now, how many people in the population could do something like that? Obama never did nothing like that. So I have a great respect. Dr. Ben Carson is a brilliant man, neurosurgeon, book writer, comes from rags to riches, in the city, grew up, similar to my background. And I remember when liberals praised him years ago, and he would do speaking engagements and things. And I've seen a lot change. It's sad. But he gave, if you watch that interview, I have to look it up, but I saw a lady out there, I came across a video where she did a comparison and was bringing up all the contradictions from Whoopi Goldberg and the others. And Dr. Ben Carson handled that interview very well. He didn't get out of character. And I mean, they scrutinized this man hard. Even one of the ladies on the panel says she knew him personally, even came over to his house before, but was still giving him a hard time. I don't know, to put on this shit show for corporate mainstream media. Just ridiculous. It's sad. But I just referenced to that, for example, when he answered that, and that is what I agree with. It gives a good synopsis. When we get some of those taboo area, gray area subjects that some of us are asked, Dr. Ben, he explained in a very eloquent manner and was very polite overall compared to, I've seen the women on the show, they scrutinize different guests, and I've seen different ones come on there and because it's like they're under attack. They're by themselves and they're outnumbered, you guys. So I'm just saying, but go back and watch that episode and you would understand very well. But the state of this country is in a massive situation. This is a warning. And they know that Trump, if it was a fair election and there's no cheating at all, they know he will win in a landslide. They know this. So the deep state, they're planning false flag events. So be looking all the way up until near the election. Things could get really bad. They're also going to amp things up with the war. The Bilderberg meeting is starting around this time period. I bet they're getting ready to arrive at their hotels maybe tomorrow. It normally starts the beginning of June of every year, by the way. And remember, it's the secret version of the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum is like more so the daylight version of the Bilderberg group. So I don't know where the meeting is at this year, but I did see a report that is coming up. And they have a list of the one of the independent media, Press for Truth. You can find on band.video. There's a video he did. If you scroll down, the official Bilderberg 2024 agenda and participants list has been revealed. By the way, and he's been in the trenches, one of the few people out there covering it, because since InfoWars, they went after his money. He hasn't been able to send reporters there like he used to because of the limited funding and trying to keep InfoWars afloat, and they've been trying to shut it down. There's stuff going on in Austin, Texas. By the way, this is a criminal deep state operation, and they also have the video footage. This I know for a fact. There was a whistleblower video. I don't know the name of the guy. He interviewed someone who worked for the FBI that is aligned, and they admitted in this alignment, he talked about the intelligence agencies and I guess the connection to the CIA, that how they created that whole Sandy Hook thing to take Alex Jones down. One of the things he said specifically, they knew they were going to go after Alex Jones's money. Remember I mentioned earlier, they used the financial monetary system. Debt is their weapon. And this guy, this is on video footage. I saw the video footage of this. Some journalists out there, I commend, did very good work. They're similar to James O'Keefe, what James O'Keefe would do with Project Veritas. But this wasn't James O'Keefe. I believe this was somebody else, some other journalist out there I'm not familiar with, but a friend of mine I talked with said he heard about the video as well. I was pretty surprised. But he gets information and news from his particular sources. So a lot of this information intersects from the independent media. Don't trust the mainstream corporate media. The corporate media is going to lie. ABC Nightly News with David Murrell, they're only just going to give you one part of the story. The independent media is going to go more in depth. Trust me, they're going to don't take my word for what I say. Just do your research, but you can start with band.video. And also go to platforms like Rumble, BitChute, Getter, Frank Speech, Truth Social. That way you can network with other awake, like-minded people who are awake to the truth, who are really more so awake, who just don't trust the mainstream narrative, by the way, that's being manipulated and is very biased towards Trump. They're not giving this man a fair chance and not fully reporting on the accurate truth. And they're covering up a lot of the crimes of the Biden administration and the Obama administration. They're covering up massive crimes and criminal activities that they've done, by the way. And I remember I went over a couple of things with the FISA warrant. Remember the Lois Lerner scandal under President Obama, where Dr. Ben Carson, remember years ago, spoke at one of Obama's prayer breakfasts. He said he received a call from the White House that they didn't like his comments of what he said at Obama's prayer breakfast when they were passing years ago the Affordable Care Act. And he was going over, he just was giving his opinion. And Obama started to frown during this one some years ago. When he was invited to the prayer breakfast. And Dr. Ben Carson told this story some years ago. You think not a coincidence